I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Thompson.
Here.
Berkey.
Here.
Goff here.
Here.
Brumman.
Here.
Small.
Here. Anybody like to approve the minutes from February 17th?
I will so move.
All support. Moved and supported. Any changes, topics, information? Let's vote.
Brumman.
Yes.
Berkey.
Yes.
Small.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Goff here.
Yes.
Moving into public comment, limit 3 minutes per person. Please identify yourself first. You want to go first, Kevin?
I can, if you want me to. I'm here. Well, I wish I could have an afternoon off.
Oh, wow.
You don't get 3 minutes.
I don't get to leave the house unless I'm getting paid, so.
I never leave the house. Anyways, I'm here for a couple different reasons. The first one is, let you guys hand these around. Talking about the airbase. We got the Airport of the Year award from Michigan.
Nice.
I mean, I thought it was quite an honor to get something like this. Did you have enough copies or?
Yep.
Okay. Anyways, and it was last week we went down to, and it's not as much fun because it's looking like at the screen up here, and that you're supposed to be at a convention. It wasn't,
Sure.
but we did get it. It means a lot because it'll help us get more money now if we're this way. And part of it's why we got it, because we have done all the improvements. Second of all, that Cooperative has ordered, supposed to have some of the stuff in already for the new hangar for the spring. I did sign the contract for the land about a month ago or so. His new building, his new hangar is 400 and some by 400 and some feet. That's a big building.
92,000 square feet.
Yeah, it's huge.
Crazy.
Yeah, well, and then he's also, and Carolyn's on the zoning board down there, and they approved for another one. He's putting up a 100 by 115. For when the planes, they do some little work outside, they can do checks and that outside. They can pull that along or have someplace better to keep their tools. I think it's, and there's, and then our spaceport down there, Gavin Brown, the one that's putting it on, will be, last time we talked to him about 2-3 weeks ago, had a meeting with him. He is setting stuff up. It's going to take about 2 years to get licensed. But we can start, we're stalled right now until the license starts going, then we can start doing more stuff. But he's looking at putting the hangar up. And depends if he does a satellite assembly up here or someplace else. And they say it's better to do it here because putting them on a truck or whatever, they get rattled and everything else.
Right.
So he does that. That's going to be just a huge, huge thing. I mean, that's another hangar, everything else. It's really exciting. It's really. And anyway, these are certificates I for the awards. We got down there. People are going good. A lot of new businesses are looking at coming in. Colette is redoing one of the old schools. What do you call it down there? Oh, I can't remember the name of the building now. But anyways, they're going to redo it so they have more classrooms to start teaching more people right there in the base. Mm-hmm. That's good. So to stop a little bit different here now, because if you guys got any questions on it, because it is really going. It is. I mean, it is. We do have.
The last conversation that I had with Gary,
Mm-hmm.
the space thing, they were talking about utilizing the old alert facility. Is that
No,
changed?
it's changed right now. It's
Okay.
changed. That part for the offices went up the UP. They're going to use your facility for. They're going to use part of it.
Okay.
Where they want to put their planes, but the building itself, no.
Okay,
They're
they're
gonna-
not going to use the building.
As far as right now, no.
Okay. Just one.
Yeah, no. And then there's in May, the Air Force is bringing tankers back for a couple, 3 weeks. I think it's going to be neat.
Can't wait.
And they're setting up,
What is the purpose of that?
they're having an exercise.
It's an exercise.
Alpine will be involved in it. There's different airports or, bases, old bases and that. To bring people in. It's just an exercise we want to do. There'll be 350 people down here in tents.
Just so they can kind of demonstrate that it's still an optional base or not?
No, I think what it's for is they showing if there was a war, if there was something going on, they could still organize, put stuff here, and make it work.
Okay,
And that's the main thing. It's
makes sense.
they're not. We thought it'd be a good thing because they'd be going to the stores, the people would be running out, but that's not going to happen.
Oh,
Very little of it.
Yeah.
Because they want to keep everybody in their tents, or not in their tents, but it's
In the
closer.
base.
Yeah, they're going to bring in all the food and everything.
mhm.
Most every there's going to be a few private cars, but most of these be trucked in, and so they have an exercise that's going to stay here. So
And I say they pay, do they pay to use the airport?
no,
No.
but Coletta is going to have the maintenance of it, and it could help him in the future. Phoenix, they're going to buy fuel from Phoenix because he's a fuel guy down there. That's going to help them a lot. It's going to help a lot, but not much as people think in the town.
Yeah, right.
Kevin, weren't some of those some of the conditions at the time of the turnover that they would have?
Oh, they have the right to come anytime they want to.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
in the
okay.
It's in their contract
In
that they
yeah.
come
yeah,
back and someday, and
Yeah, if they ever started something, they come back.
450-page contract, just
Yeah.
about.
so if they said tomorrow, goodbye, everybody, we're gonna make it
Yeah.
a base again. they
Yep,
can do
yep,
that.
that could happen. Yep.
Hmm.
I don't think it's gonna because
No.
everything else so far, but yeah, they absolutely could.
They could absolutely
Yeah.
do that.
So we had a big debate with some of the people in Iosco County,
Hmm.
and some police in town because of the PFAS polluting again.
Right.
Well, they're saying they bring tankers in, they're gonna have that foam too. It's a different type foam, but it's still got,
Mhm.
well, it's there now. It's getting cleaned up, probably 100 years from now, maybe,
Yeah.
but it's been trying to get cleaned up. So some of the people don't like it, but most of them figure it's better to have them come than,
Well, I mean, Coletta's got to have something there in case there's an accident. They got to have.
no,
No?
they got some little bit, but they'll bring their own tankers and,
Well,
the Air Force is bringing their own tanker trucks and it's
How
gonna be
many,
neat.
how many, well,
What? Go ahead.
Uh,
If I don't know it, I'll get it for you. 'Cause this-
how many tankers are they
I
talking?
don't know. They never did
I
say.
was gonna say they wouldn't normally, but.
No,
I
Did you say C-97s or KC-135s?
I think the KC-135s are
Okay,
coming in.
that's
there.
what-
Tankers.
Yeah, so it's pretty
Oh,
neat
it's so
thing.
exciting. I can't
Yeah,
wait.
people are really saying they're gonna wait.
KC-135 fly over my house again.
Yeah, shake the house.
All I need is a
Then I got
B-52.
one more thing on this and then I'll let you go. I gotta. These are more questions. Quite a few years ago, this board decided to try to promote our county. And everything's happened on the base here now, and what's lost up in Alpena. I predicted in 5 years, our county's gonna take off like wild. Because if you put another hangar up or two hangars, and you're talking a bunch of people, you're talking about housing, you're talking,
Yep.
it's gonna take off. So how many years ago when we put our campaign, welcome home to Alcona County? Because, half hour, you can get to the base or Alpena and work. And you come here where it's quiet, nice, peaceful, good schools, and raise your families here. So anyways, I'm encouraging you guys to kind of go back with this. Well, it's just, here's what I'll put them out. And they're stickers for your cars and that.
okay.
And I found some other ones. It kind of just welcome home to, Alcona County. Because this is everybody's home.
Good deal.
Yeah, and I don't know what they cost us at that time, wasn't done.
But no,
But it was something to look forward to try to promote our county, because I do believe in 5 years,
Oh, yeah.
it's gonna take off.
And those were not paid for with county money.
those are donated.
Yeah, I found a few of them left, and I brought them, but yeah, I just believe in 5 years, we're gonna have it's gonna take off. And another thing is, I'll go back now, if any other questions on that?
Nope.
Okay. I have, last weekend, weekend before, the snow machine race was on there. Good turnout. Everything went well. They cleaned up the fairgrounds good. There's a little bit of stuff, but there's 3 inches of snow on Monday. Another guy wants to use it, and I tell him as long as he has insurance, contract, and some money, so he can use it. But they're gonna just test out a machine on new shocks to see how the machine handles the rough ground.
I think that's cool.
I think anytime you use it and it's there and the ice is there, it ain't costing no more money.
Such an interesting use.
Yeah. It's a racing team that wants to try out new shocks to
Hmm.
take the rougher track. And I suppose you spend as much money as they get, they can
Yeah.
put on shocks. Anything, we've been letting the seniors use it for food pantry. That's worked out pretty well, except one time, the only problem with the truck getting stuck in there.
Yeah.
But we've been trying to keep it clean. Last time the guys did the snow machine race, they plowed them out with a grader net, so they get a little better, so it's more use. There will be a fair this year. Aren't we helping Bill? We got everything lined up from last year again this year. Sponsorship forms. You don't know this story, but you'll get a sponsorship form. Anyways, and then we have sponsorship forms going out. What else is there, Bill? Out there?
Well, the raffle's moving forward,
Yep.
and we're applying for hopefully get together a grant from the rural agricultural to get new bleachers. We tried last year and with Consumer Energy, and they changed their plans because of COVID, and they spent the money otherwise. But we've got all our contracts lined up from last year.
Yep.
They've all honored what they did and what they're going to do for us. And we've got a couple of new activities that will happen. We got a lawnmower racing that
So if you got no lawnmower, come out and try it.
that we're trying to out, and that's been posted on Facebook.
Yep, everything's going pretty good so far. So one other thing we're trying to do is trying to put lights in the parking lot. And I don't know if you, maybe Dan, know more than anybody, but these solar lights for street lights, they call them. I ordered 3, and they're like the 9,000 lumens were. And put in my barn unit. At first, I thought, boy, it ain't too good. But once they work good. But they're about $200 a piece for the ones for the parking lot. We need about 8. So anybody wants to buy a light, we're always willing to. We'll put your name on the pole that you bought a light. Okay.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, it's a promotion thing. But I'm just trying to make it better, and more people want to use it. And we got some other groups. It's horse groups who want to use it this summer.
Are you gonna still do the kids free ride?
Yes. Yep, that's already in the contract. This is a new contract
Carnival.
carnival, and we are having carnival food here again. This May, what is it?
22nd, 23rd,
Something like
21st, 22nd,
Yeah.
23rd. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
in
And I
May.
was surprised last year we had it with nothing going on.
Right.
And the guy got all done and he gave us what percentage it was. It wasn't very much. We ended up over $500 to give us for
Yeah.
him setting up and doing everything. We got money out of it, so it's a pretty good deal. So I probably used up my 3 minutes. I appreciate it.
Yep.
We got 3
Nice.
minutes for each step.
Oh,
I should
okay.
have put you in the presentation. Yeah, I was going to apologize to everybody.
It's me. I get back here. I just can't stop.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Lots of good
much.
things.
So, like I said, I would like to apologize. I should have put Kevin under presentations, knowing he'd have a lot of info. So, anybody else for public comment? Go ahead.
You might want to put him.
I've got a couple things, both as EMS and emergency management.
Is this the
The write-offs and the
Yeah,
other things we talked
how
about.
long can you hang? Can you do that during?
You want to do that at the end?
Yeah, well, not at the end, but can we do it during business?
New
We can do
business.
it?
Yeah, let's do it then because we got to vote on some stuff.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, Scott.
Okay.
Adam, I'm ready.
Anybody else? Yeah, go ahead, Lenny.
All right, Lenny Avery, Collin County Commission on Aging, have 4 quick things to kind of get you guys up on. Our food pantry pop-ups for the next 2 months are going to be March 17th from 4 to 6 that distribution time, and then April 14th, again from 4 to 6 distribution time. We are going to try to keep the ARA site. There was some concerns about the snow and the 18-wheelers getting stuck. So we have had some people in the community bring their tractors up. So hopefully we're going to unload it at the top of the hill instead of having the 18-wheeler come down to that. I believe that's Edmund's building, that little building down there. So we're going to try to unload it there. Next, ACCOA is hiring. So if anyone in the community is looking for a job, we're hiring for direct care workers. You just need to contact us at 989-334-3466. That's 989-334-3466 to set up an interview for the positions that we are hiring for. If anyone in the community is in need of food, you are experiencing food insecurity, we don't check. The only thing we want is need. We're not gonna, get into your tax documentation and how much if you need the food and we can help you, contact us at 989-334-FOOD. Can't get any simpler number than that. So 334-FOOD, FOOD, for food boxes. This is open up to any family size and anybody in Oconee County. You have to be a resident of Oconee County. Also, I worked with Oconee Health Centers, and we're going to be doing a homebound vaccination to target all of our homebound residents in Oconee County. That vaccination is going to happen this Friday. Anybody that's 65 years or older that is interested in getting the Johnson & Johnson 1-dose vaccination need to call 989-736-9819. That is not the health department. That is to the Oconee Health Center COVID line. And that number is 989-736-9819. You must be 65 years of age or older and an Oconee County resident. So this is the special vaccination just for our community. Okay. So I'll give that number one more time, 989-736-9819. Also, to keep your eyes out on our building project, we'll be moving ahead with our feasibility study here in the next month or two, and we'll be doing a public kickoff information, questions and answer, comments and ideas session. I'll be putting the ad out in the Oconee Review and putting some things out on Facebook when we're ready for that public portion. But that is where the public will be able to talk about some of the building projects that we're going to be doing, and getting some comments, some ideas. So if you're looking for a pool, this is the time to pitch it. But that'll be coming up within the next month or two. That's all I got, guys.
Lenny?
Don't go.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Lenny, you used the term homebound on Friday's vaccinations. Define homebound, please.
Homebound is any individual that cannot get out of their homes.
Cannot,
to do
okay.
They cannot do like their basic shopping, go back and forth. We have 160, we had identified 160 people, because this is what we specialize. We do home delivered meals, and you have to be homebound in order to get those. So we called that and compiled a list, and we're going to be vaccinating those individuals on Friday. But like I said, any good campaign, we can't get everybody. So if you are homebound, you can call that number. If you are 65 years or older, you can still call that number and get a vaccine schedule. And that would be the Johnson & Johnson 1-dose.
Okay, thank you, Lenny.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Public comment? Hearing none, moving on. Go in the chat there if you think of something, I can get you on the last part if you're having a problem getting on audio. So next is presentations. We don't have any. Unfinished business. We don't have any new business. Oh, I need to add some stuff to the agenda actually before we go there. First, I need to add the EMS bad debt statements. We have to approve those, and we'll do that first actually, so Scott can get on his way if he needs to. And then we need to add a closed session for union talks with personnel.
Where do you want to put the closed session?
I would say we put it
After committee report, after public comment.
after public comment. Yeah.
Under unfinished business, Scott, do you want me to fill them in on what we did with this?
You can, I was gonna include it in mine. but if
Okay,
you've
then,
got-
you can.
No, if you've got the document right there, go ahead.
Well, Scott and I began working on this, if you recall, after our last meeting with the public hearing with her name.
Christine McKember.
Thank you. This document basically was turned into about a 240-page report, which is rather mind-boggling to me. But anyway, we decided, even though we had gone through and done, identified some of the things that we felt maybe should be altered, in doing so, we kind of decided, this is basically done and in the format. We're going to leave it. But what we are going to do, LPT will be at their quarterly meetings. We'll be taking sections of this, going through it, identifying those things that need to be modified, and so that it will be truly will be a living document. It won't be just set on the shelf for 5 years. So it doesn't put it to rest, but it moves it off of the Board of Commissioners' agenda.
For now.
Yeah, for now.
Because it's gonna go to FEMA soon, and that's gonna take another 12 months. She sent Otsego counties in a year and a half ago, and she's still waiting for an answer from FEMA. So we're in the hurry up and wait mode with these hazardous mitigation plans that have to be reviewed and updated every 5 years per FEMA. But even if we turn them in early before the 5 years is up, they're still sitting 18 months to 24 months before FEMA's giving them an answer back.
Okay. And then Scott, you can go right into the
Okay.
bad debt expense.
All right, I gave the clerk and the treasurer a copy. That was my only other copy. The write-offs for the second half of 2020, July through the end of December, total $328,284.42. And if you compare that to the first 6 months of 2020, the first 6 months was $156,348.94. So more than doubled. And a lot of it, the reason is COVID. Nobody has explanations to it, but that's what the insurance companies either approved or adjusted accordingly. And it's only going to get, I think it's only going to get worse. For 2021 so far, we have January and February. January was $28,009.73. February was $30,505.14. If you project those 2 months out over the course of the calendar year of 2021, we're looking at about $352,000 at the pace we're going right now. Everybody's kind of up in arms in the EMS world because of the adjustments, the write-offs, the decreased money. The Michigan Ambulance Association the other day, they're working on getting some stuff to the governor's office. And the concern is that EMS is not being properly funded in the state. It's not being properly funded anywhere in the United States. I'm sorry to say that between the no insurance people that we transport and unfortunately Medicaid, if we transport a Medicaid individual, we write off 80% of the run. We get pennies on the dollar. We get $225, $250 for a run, an ALS run. It's 30 miles in either direction to any of the two hospitals. So they're looking upwards of $10 million that they want the state to infuse into the EMS system within the state of Michigan. Now, I don't know what those numbers are going to look like for Alcona County, but I think it's the rural services, the lower call volume, that it's where the money's earmarked for, where it's going. If you're a private sector or in a metropolitan area, you've got run volume to support your funding, your budget. We don't have that support and budget up here. One more thing with EMS. I gave you the numbers, the write-offs. We discussed it earlier today in the finance, but I want to remount the 2009 McCoy Miller ambulance. It's over at Station 2 in Glenny. It's 12 years old. It's got about 270,000 miles on it. It's well past its life expectancy. We need to remount that vehicle. To remount, it's going to cost us about $128,000. A brand new ambulance is going to be $200,000, maybe a little bit more for the exact same thing. My request or proposal is that we put the 10% down for the remount, and then to finance the balance for the next 3 years with the millage money that was approved back in August. I gave Finance Committee the applications and the paperwork. I have more available if you need it, and go from there.
The 128, Scott, does that cover all your labor, taking everything out, putting it back? That covers the right down.
They take the box off the chassis. They
Yep.
strip it down to the bare metal. There's nothing left of in the
Right,
box.
but I'm
So,
talking, okay.
yeah, so we're gonna get new electrical, new oxygen plumbing, new lights, all LED, not incandescent, new upholstery, new flooring. They'll take the power load system that's in the ambulance currently, they'll transfer it over to the new, or not transfer it, they'll take it out while they remodel it or
Right.
remount it. They'll put it all back, put it on the new chassis. It would be a 20, I think they said it was a 2020 gas engine, which is also better because better mileage and less cost than diesel and less maintenance.
Okay, well, I'm talking about the labor, because you're gonna take all our equipment, the county's equipment out.
Right, I'm gonna
Then
do
you're,
that.
then you're gonna have to put it back in.
They're gonna give us a loaner ambulance.
Okay,
We'll put all the equipment back in. We'll put the loaner ambulance in service at Station 2, and that's where it'll stay.
okay, well, so how about all the labor that's gonna take to do that? Have you figured that into your numbers? Because you're gonna be paying some guys to help do all this stuff, right?
I'm gonna use on-duty staff to strip the ambulance, leave the equipment at Station 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the vehicle to Muskegon, spend the night. I will bring the replacement vehicle back the next day. We will put the equipment at Station 2 into the loaner vehicle, and that truck will be back in service.
Okay, so you figured those into this 128, or that's above and beyond?
There's no
128?
cost there, really.
Well, there is cost.
I guess I'm missing the point.
Well, I just want to make, so the 100, I guess you're going to give it to us again so we can see it, the breakdown of the cost.
Sure.
Right down through the thing. That's what I'm asking. I mean,
If we use on-duty staff to strip the equipment, they're already being paid.
right, I understand that.
Okay. And then if I take the vehicle down, that's not gonna cost you anything. The only thing it's gonna cost us is the gas to, there's 5 there. But do you want a copy of the
No, this is,
proposal from Kodiak as to what they're gonna do in the
no,
warranties and
this
things?
is what,
Okay.
this is what's in.
In case delivery date to be determined, obviously it depends on when they get it.
Yes, they say 90-day
90-day
turnaround.
turnaround. Okay, thank you.
It's the only company that does this.
It is not.
I was just curious if you had different quotes.
I do. I think this is our best option or our best choice based on price and turnaround and loaner vehicles and everything that's involved. Kodiak is based in Michigan. They're out of Grand Ledge, Greater Lansing. Their remount facilities in Muskegon. They give us, in my opinion, the best turnaround or the quickest turnaround. And they're one of the less expensive ones that I could find out there.
We wouldn't want to look at this in finance, is that what we want to get?
Oh, I don't think we have to vote on anything right now,
No,
but, okay. So we will, take this information and digest it and,
Okay.
figure out what, where to proceed.
Okay. I won't be available in 2 weeks for the next board meeting because I'll be at one of the COVID clinics.
Okay.
All right. Speaking of COVID clinics, our community paramedics and myself, we've participated in 4 already between Iosco County and Alcona County. When we go to do a COVID clinic, we're with the health department. Our medics are actually putting needles in arms. We're not there as support staff. And we're doing anywhere between 400 and 800 vaccinations per day. Tomorrow we'll be in Hale. And then in 2 weeks, we'll be in Hale again, and we'll be back here in Alcona County. But we're getting 400 to 800 people through the system in as little as 5 hours or as much as 8 hours. That's all I have EMS wise. Emergency management wise, I have two things. We're looking at RAVE, which is a emergency distribution of information out there in the area. It helps the community connect with the citizens and its visitors to mobilize during critical events. So if we've got inclement weather coming, or we've got things along that nature, we can send out a mass text message in addition to television and radio to get the word out. It's a mass notification, public health, organization, state and local governments. We can use it for anything. If we want to advertise the community project fair that we have here on the lawn in the fall, directions of where to park. If we want to talk about weather, if we want to talk about there's a large fire in downtown Lincoln, avoid Lincoln, things like that. That one, and we're looking at a 5-county area. We're looking at Alcona, Oscoda, Iosco, Ogama, and Aranac counties. We're looking at about $2,800. We can use money from our Emergency Management District 3 fiscal year, which would come out of the 2020 fiscal year budget. We're looking at about $2,800. So we would have to front the money up front. The grant would then reimburse the county. So what they're saying is we need a resolution or some type of approval from the Board of Commissioners for each respective county to move forward on that project.
Do they have a form, recommended format for that, or?
A format, you mean like a
For the
sample
For the
resolution.
resolution.
sample
they
resolution?
did not provide me with one.
They probably don't have one.
No,
No.
I can look, I can check.
When do you need this by?
The sooner the better, so we can get it done.
Well, they probably have a sample. They probably have one already.
I
What do
would
you think?
so.
Huh?
I would think so.
I would think they already have something that,
Okay.
If not, we'll plagiarize. No, I don't want to plagiarize Iosco's. I'll plagiarize at Urinex.
Oh,
I want.
why don't you check on that and see if they do have something? Or see
Is
if,
it soon enough to get it voted by the next meeting on the 17th? Or do you need something today?
it could wait till, today would be better. But I understand the situation that you're in, that you would like some type of sample that you could approve the language.
That and a little time to digest it.
Okay. And the other one is the ATV Radio Project that the LAPT approved back in October. I'm still working on it, but we're looking at about $25,281 for that one, and that's half the cost of an ATV, and then 4 radios for a total of $16,000. Again, that would be a grant. County would have to front the money in advance, and then the grant would reimburse the county.
Full reimbursement, total reimbursement, partial.
Well, that's what we approved at the LPT. We approved half the cost of the ATV, which was the $92.81, but we approved the $16,000, which was the full cost of 4 radios on that one.
As the grant reimburses.
It's whatever we submit.
Okay.
And remember, we only have,
That's right.
and that equals the full $25,281 for that fiscal year grant for 2020.
Okay.
And we spent all that money in its entirety on those 2 projects at the LAPT level.
Purpose of the ATV?
It's to replace the one that's out at Barton City Fire. We use it to get into the forest, the off-roads, when we've got people down. We've had to use it twice in the last year.
Mm-hmm.
We've had hikers and walkers who have been off the beaten path, if you will, up in the Huron Forest area. One of them was kind of lengthy to try to find the person. It took us 45 minutes. That doesn't sound like a lot, but when you have a twisted knee and in a lot of pain, 45 minutes is a long time. We can't get the ambulance down the 2-track or down the ATV trails. So we use this ATV, and then they call it a sled, but it's a wheeled cart that goes behind the ATV to safely get the person out, carry the rescue personnel and all the necessary equipment to get in.
We have the sled right now.
They have the sled, yes. They have an ATV, but I think it's been, I don't know if it's somebody's
They being
personal.
Barton City.
Barton City. I don't know if it's the departments or a personal one from their agency.
It's a sheriff's department.
Is it the sheriff's office? Okay. It's seen its better day. How about that? As to wear and tear and mileage and things.
'Cause I would imagine it hasn't been used very much, has it? I mean, you say it's been used
I
twice.
don't know. I didn't, do you know how old it is, Carolyn?
No.
I don't.
I don't. We have had it a while, I know that.
All right, so you got LAPT grants, and what was the other grant?
The other one's a LAPT grant too, and it's RAVE.
Great,
That one's
okay.
2,800. RAVE is the emergency notification system that the 5 counties would like to move forward on.
All right, I'll get it on the business for the next meeting for
Okay.
sure.
And I will try to find you some sample resolutions for.
Yeah.
approval.
That would be great.
Is the other counties, are they sent something in yet? or
They're on board. They're
they're
done.
board, but have they passed anything or
As
used?
far as I know, they have, yes.
See what they put in.
Talking to the other emergency managers.
Have I been sitting, I mean, I hate to out myself like this, but have you sent this to me and I've been sitting on this and I just didn't? Have I got an email that I didn't read somewhere?
No.
Okay,
No,
okay.
I don't
I just
think I've
want,
seen it.
I just, cause, okay. Because I want to move on it for you. I just,
I
you know.
do. I agree. I
Okay.
understand. That's all I have.
Okay, so then we have to vote on how do we want it? Okay, so we have, is it all of last year for the, I don't want to call it bad debt, I want to call it,
Write-offs?
for the write-offs, EMS write-offs, all of last year, right? So we got to vote on that total.
Yeah,
So,
I'll make a motion that we approve the write-offs as submitted for 2020.
there a second.
That should be one
Support.
motion.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call.
Brady,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Gothier,
Yes,
Brumman.
Yes,
all right, then do you want to do one for the first 2 months?
We want to, that's what I mean. Do we want to do a month by month? Do we want to do quarterly? How do you want to
No, I
approach
think
this?
month by month is good, so I'll make another motion that we accept the write-offs as submitted for January and February of 2021.
support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Small,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Gothier,
Yes,
Brumman,
Yes,
Brady.
Yes. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it.
thank
Motion
you.
carries.
Those will be completed this afternoon. Keeping Ryan from-
Thank you.
okay, thanks.
Hey, Dan, if you need help with that, for the ARA site net, I got figures now, how many people that use it.
Okay,
So, if you need help, I'll. Thank you. Adam.
Yeah.
Set.
All set. Thank you.
Thank you.
Got it. Sorry. It's just up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, let's take care of the claims.
okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve the pre-authorized claims and open claims presented for payment between February 17th, 2021 and March the 2nd, 2021 for check numbers 143314 to 143441 and e-check numbers 1515 to 1521 for a grand total of $300,776.08.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments? Hearing none. Roll call.
Thompson,
Yes.
Gothier,
Yes.
Brumman,
yes,
Brady.
Yes.
Yes.
Next item, Harbor Town lease agreement. Carolyn, would you like to take lead on this, please?
it is not quite, it has not had review by legal counsel, but we would ask at this time, as I send out to all of you, and I will so move to approve and authorize the chair to sign the lease agreement with Precious Paws, with Alcona Humane Society on behalf of Precious Paws and the county for Suite 6 at Harbor Town.
I believe it was 81 cents square foot.
Well, I wasn't gonna put that in the
Oh,
motion.
not in the motion. I was just, well, do I have a second? I'll second.
Oh.
Comment was 81, it was 81 cents.
It is being rented at 80 cents a square foot. There are 300 square feet in this particular office space.
Okay.
other offices rent at approximately 70 cents a square foot, but it is a front one. There are 2 rooms to it, and there is sidewalk window, or a window that looks out onto the sidewalk.
So in your motion, once the legal counsel has reviewed it and you come up with that, then he's gonna
Yeah,
send it.
rather than waiting,
Right.
no, we'd like to
Got
get it done as quickly as possible.
I'm just curious, what are they using it for?
Pardon?
What are they gonna,
They're gonna use it for their office.
their office space for
We think so.
inmates?
So motion by Brumman, second by
It will be
Brady.
legal what they do in it.
I wasn't asking you if you're gonna have legal to sell marijuana too, but
Any,
we're gonna do it.
any further comment? Roll call.
Gothier,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes,
Brady,
Yes.
Small,
Yes,
Thompson.
Yes.
Next item, cooperative law enforcement agreement.
I will so move.
I'll support another question.
Moved and supported to accept the cooperative law enforcement agreement between the Alcona County Sheriff's Department and the USDA Forest Service here on Manistee National Forest,
And my motion includes authorizing chair to sign.
with authorization for the chair to sign.
Right.
Moved and seconded by Brumman and Bill Thompson. That's his name. Got it.
The question I have is this is similar or is the same wording from last
Exact
year, the
same
year?
question
before?
I was
Same wording,
asked Bill.
dates have changed.
Okay,
That's all.
I thought so, but I just want to make sure.
Probably exactly the same one you proved a few
Probably,
years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. It's good to have.
It's $4,000 to have.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Brady,
Yes.
Small,
yes,
Thompson,
Yes.
Gothier,
Yes.
Brumman.
Yes,
You have a copy you prefer I sign, or do you want me to do this one? Okay. I'll catch you after the meeting then. All right, I think that's it for new business.
if I may, Mr. Chairman, I would like to move to approve and authorize the chair to sign the rave resolution upon upon review and concurrence of the appropriate use of resolution in support of the rave project. That's my motion. I know time, but he can get it to you. It's an excellent project. 911 has talked about it. LEPC has talked about it. And I think we're going to be getting on the bandwagon. And I hate to have that 2 week.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay,
Oh, I'm
great.
sorry.
Go ahead.
That's okay.
Now,
Repeat of what I just
in
said.
discussion, this is the $2,800 grant. You're not including both of them. It's just
No. This is no.
This is the 5 county,
This is a 5 county
rave. Yeah.
send out of information
and they're sending it by way of radios or
electronically.
Electronically.
Where do we pay this from before we get reimbursed?
I'm not gonna find it.
Well, but you had, it would be nice. Frequently, I see you reviewing the budget, so I know you can probably offer a suggestion.
Actually, off the top of my head, I don't.
Okay,
Maybe there's contingency sitting in 101, 101.
okay.
Why wouldn't it become a emergency management?
Yeah, it should come out of 420. 421,
6.
yeah, 101.
Yeah, and then it gets reimbursed back into it. Yeah, that'd be the best place for it. So.
I think it's an outstanding project and one that I'd like to make sure we are on board. And I don't want to have Alcona be the one that's kind of holding it up.
Yep.
God forbid they might move without us.
Okay, so the motion is to approve and authorize chair to sign the rave resolution upon review and concurrence of the
Appropriateness.
appropriateness of resolution in support of the rave project. That's a mouthful. It is moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Thompson,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Gothier,
Yes.
Small,
yes.
Brumman.
Yes, thank you. I just don't
Motion carries.
need to get that moved forward.
Any other last minute additions? How about finance report?
Okay. First thing on the finance, from the finance committee, we'd like to ask the board of commissioners to move to amend Fund 238 in the amount of $750 for a new total of $5,050.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion?
Which is, Jason?
This is the recycle alcohol.
Oh, it's recycle one,
Right,
okay.
right.
I'll second.
Well, we gotta move in a second already, but
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't catch that.
no problem. All right, moved and seconded. Any other discussion? This is for the recycling.
Yes.
Okay. Roll call.
Gothier,
Yes.
Reggie,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Brumman,
Yes,
Small.
Yes.
Another thing from finance, and Scott left, but we received a request from the EMS that, and I'll just read this, but for our conversation on 226, we'd like you to approach the board members whether or not you feel we should be charging for a response fee when a patient refuses transport after the crew has performed an EKG in a patient's home. We have talked to our billing company and was informed that many agencies are doing this with a fee ranging from $50 to $100. So what they're asking is that they are going out on calls and people are after they're there, people are refusing transport. And they just, at this point in time, they're not billing. And they're asking that the approval to bill for those certain instances.
I just want to make sure I'm understanding. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sure we got the same question.
Ambulance is coming. They're performing a service. Then yes.
Then the people refuse.
And
They leave, and whether they take themselves to the hospital or not.
exactly.
And we're not charging nothing, and they think we should be charging
Something.
yes.
At least half of what.
Didn't you also say they performed something?
Yeah.
Here they said has performed the EKG. So basically, if somebody's calling with a heart issue,
Right.
they EKG and they'll say, well, you're okay, or, you should go to the hospital, whatever, and that
more
patient,
than that's more than just going and being told
Yeah,
no. I mean, they actually put hands on.
right, they're hands on,
Patient.
whether it's an EKG or whatever, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think it's specific.
Absolutely.
Well,
It's just once you go and they refuse transport,
And maybe we only do like $50, but
50 to 100. I mean, we can see the write-offs, what's going on with these
what is
write-offs.
the ambulance director recommending? As
Oh, they're recommending that we
how
do.
much?
Oh, it is. He just said many of the other agencies are saying they're charging from 50 to 100. So I think we could
do we
set
need to take board action on this?
You
We-
have
we've
taken
never-
board action
on lift assist we have.
on any time the ambulance leaves the barn and goes out on a call. That was established that they would be charging for that,
Right.
regardless of lift assist or the service that was provided. And they chose not to bill for those. You've already approved it. You can look
Yeah,
back
we
at the
did
minutes
last
for
year. We
years
did
and
approve
years.
that.
We've asked for those things to be billed out and they have not been.
So I think they're just looking again for our approval.
What
to
is
get
the,
this.
what is the recommendation of the EMS committee?
No, we recommend that they do have, there is a charge for this.
Do you
Whether
have a
it's 50
recommendation of how much? Or should we leave that up to you?
Well,
I'm fine leaving it up.
there
to
was
the
a
committee.
number mentioned in that motion, and already wasn't there? There was.
$75.
I don't remember what it was, but if that motion if it is, I may have to go back and find it. But if that covers
Agree.
when you go, then we're already done.
Agree.
Right.
We've already suggested we charge for these. I don't think lift assist, it came up as a term, as one of the conditions, but I don't think we voted. I think it was, if they come to your house, you're gonna get billed.
Because even if you come for a fall
Mhm.
and they, again, hands-on, they actually get you off the floor but you don't need to go anywhere. You should theoretically still, there's a charge because that group of people came, they did something and they got to go back to
And
the
that's where
bill.
community paramedic comes in.
But
Right.
there was a lot of public outcry.
Sure.
We made that choice. And that's one of the reasons why, in the defense of the MS director, one of the reasons why he chose not to charge was because of the public outcry. I just want to make that known. It's not like
Right.
there's this big negligence.
But I think if they're doing an EKG,
Right.
and I'm not saying, I don't think that's unreasonable. They're using equipment.
Oh, they have. to-
Forget the fact that they drove however many miles
No.
they had to drive.
As soon as you get in the vehicle, it's a full charge.
So I think,
But we're covered under that first resolution. I just wish I could.
Yes.
yeah, we can find
it.
that. But I think for this, I think, if we're all in agreement, then Adam and I, as the EMS committee, supposedly will meet with the director and over there and
Fine.
figure out what they
Yep.
want to charge, but we're all in agreement there should be a charge. Okay.
Well, I think you end up throwing out stuff too. You know, when
Oh,
you use
I-
some of that equipment, you have to,
Well,
you
there-
can't
there's- yeah.
reuse it.
It's
Oh,
waste.
it's
Well,
the perishables, all of it,
and
gloves, you name it.
The other thing too, that, and we know that this happens, people are alone and they call, they're lonely. Truly, and I think many of them do believe, oh gee, maybe I'm having a heart, something happened. I should call the ambulance. Oh, an EKG, that sounds like that would be a good thing. I think we've got to charge.
Okay, so I guess we don't do anything
Big
with
amount.
that.
Yeah, and this is for the board of commissioners, just information only, but I got with Troy Equalization, and he just gave us the update figures for our taxable revenues for 21. And it's just information only, but you can take a look at it. I think that's it for my finance. I mean, we had another real long finance meeting again this morning. Everything's moving forward.
What does crossfoot mean?
Huh?
Crossfoot.
Well, I have my handwriting down there?
No, it says this report will not cross foot.
I don't know.
The last page. I've never heard that term.
I don't know. Came from Troy. I don't know.
I've never heard that term before. Now, there's a lot of terms I've never heard before, I agree, but
I guess I'd ask for a budget amendment for 213,
Huh?
a budget amendment.
Oh, yeah,
Increasing the bottom line,
that's right.
$2015.
Oh,
Okay,
thanks. Yeah, we forgot.
Yeah, that's that.
Thank you.
It's just, we got to increase the bottom line by how much?
$2,015.
Okay, there it is right there. Yeah, another thing from finance that
Just one. Are you
we
sure?
would,
here, we can
I'll
share.
share.
Okay.
we'd like to make a motion that we increase the bottom line in our Fund 213 by $2,015.
Second by Brady. This is part of, this is part of our ongoing meetings and process to get the budget squared away.
Right,
We ventured into 2021 now, and
right. And the 213 is, so everybody knows, that's the new ambulance millage.
What had happened, there were some erroneous things that we weren't aware, and they were in both budgets and they needed to be amended.
Right.
Starting out the year with, and you'll see the ones that with parentheses. When it, the overall increase is $2,015. There's just some things that happened to be in wrong line items and things that weren't thought about prior to creating this budget,
Right.
such as interest on taxes, and the bank interest wasn't added to that. So we made the modification, or we suggested the modifications in regards to these things, taking them out. Some of the things came out of 210 and were readjusted to here, because that was where it was recommended by the prosecuting attorney for legal counsel.
So you did housekeeping.
So this is kind of a cleanup, and we ended up adding $2,000 in revenue overall. That was my take on it, and so we allocated it, and that was my suggestion for how to proceed with that.
we have a motion and a second to amend the bottom line of 213. Roll call.
Brumman,
Yes,
Small,
Yes.
Coffee,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Before we go too far, I got one question. It's not a question, it's a service statement. On the minutes, when we approved the amendment for the 750, it was commented it was for recycle. It was for the county cleanup.
County cleanup.
Oh,
Right.
county cleanup.
yes, I just thought that.
Recycle doesn't get anything from the county.
Right.
it's
Sorry.
I
the
just want to
county
make, sure for the minutes, it was for the county cleanup, not for recycle.
Okay.
cleanup. Okay, that's it for finance.
All right. How about personnel?
We would request a closed session at the end of the meeting.
Anything else?
No, we had a senior staff meeting this morning. It went well. Brought
Well
them up to
attended.
date on a number of
Well
things,
attended.
shared some information and so on, but because of the temporary staffing manning of the equalization department, Troy has talked to us about the fact that his goals that we shared with you earlier in the year are going to have to be modified ever so slightly.
Right, right.
But we're going to address that probably mid-year. There's no sense in jumping into it now because we don't know what all the ramifications of that are going to be. So,
Okay. Treasurer's report.
We have had our final day, the townships had their final day of collection on March 1st, and 28 happened on Sunday. So they had an extra day to collect taxes from taxpayers. Approximately half of the townships have sent in their information, and the transition is going well. We're having good numbers so far with a few exceptions, which there always is. So we are working to try and get that information so we can work on the settlement. We have 57 properties left that are slated for foreclosure on March 31st. And in the mid-range of 377 that went into forfeiture on March 1st. 2019s that were delinquent went into forfeiture on March 1st. So they are on their way to foreclosure. So we have 57,300 and probably there were 77 so we'll have documents with registered deeds coming up next week with our new certificates of forfeiture. And I really don't have a clue on, I haven't been able to pull the dollars and the numbers out for how many we have for 2020. A lot of the townships, though, surprisingly, the delinquent amounts seem to be a little bit lower in some of the bigger townships. So people have been paying, there was a couple that stood out to me that generally have a larger amount due. And they were, within, I'm thinking 70,000 in the past, and they were down to 40,000. So it's quite significant, the amount that people have been paying. We'll find out in a couple days when we get that rest of that information. March 5th closure, you may want to address today when we open up to the public. Is that something that might need to be?
Expired on the 5th
I believe so.
Pardon?
March 5th?
with
Is it April
the
or
building
March?
closure.
No, it's April.
Was that
That was April, something, wasn't it?
voted
It's
on?
April.
April 9th.
Yeah.
I thought we voted on it.
I thought.
Yeah.
March 5th, what you intended to do for.
No,
We
it
were
was
supposed to
April.
open on the 8th, so yeah, you're right, but we extended it already until
Okay,
8th.
I missed that part. I must have missed it. Sorry. Other than that, we've been working with finance and trying to get things under wrap. We're in full tax mode. There are new forms that we have to fill out for foreclosure. New certificates, they're not very different, and some other language. So we're kind of working with that. I think that's about it.
Okay, thank you.
Carolyn, got something.
Well, Carolyn, yes. Sorry, I was reading minutes.
We've had this discussion in the last couple of months with the changes, with the new interpretation. I don't think there's changes, but with the new interpretation of foreclosed property. Is there any thought or consideration of turning that whole thing over to the state, or is it too late to turn? We had to make a decision 8 years ago.
Oh, way longer than that.
Longer? Yeah, I guess it was longer than that. Can we change our mind?
According to Tom, that was the information he presented.
Yeah.
Not according to Tom?
Yes.
Oh, we
Yeah.
can't.
He was the
Yeah.
one that
Well, it was
presented
a-
the
Do
information.
we, I just, I was thinking about it. It's,
Well, I thought our last conversation with Tom was he presented it to us that way, but there was still I think they were still waiting for more things to come out of this
There's
lawsuit before we made that decision.
Okay.
But that is definitely the way I feel is unless something changes, yeah, let the state have it, you know, but I don't,
Yeah.
I think there was still some things that he wasn't sure what was going to happen.
I mean,
Am I right, Cheryl?
There is legislation being, going to be brought forward to, for making that an easier option
Mhm.
for the counties to either opt in or out.
I don't agree with the interpretation that they have now come up with. Dang it. If I sell my property to you, if the court gives you my property, I no longer should have any say so over it. I shouldn't, I mean, and you sell it to him and make a mint, it's your money. I gave it up. It was foreclosed against me, and I don't believe that I should have any more say so or any more benefit. And if you're going to say, well, yeah, there should be, well, then my position is then on the ones that we have a loss, who's going to cover that loss?
Right.
I mean, that's why it becomes a balancing act. I'm not telling you anything you don't know, I realize, but anyway, I just wondered if anybody had given it any more thought or, you know, okay. Thank you.
Clerk's report.
We did end up receiving a credit on our priority health bill due to COVID in the amount of $2,252. So that was a positive thing. Other than that, we're just working on.
All right, you'll see you have several communications in your packets to review at your leisure. Go on to committee reports. Got anything, Terry?
Let's see, attended, terrible. I apologize for that. Oh, veterans was the other day. Yes, they're working. And of course, the veterans advisor is off right now on medical leave. They have arranged somebody to pick up the stuff so he can do it at home. He's recovering. So we discussed in personnel this morning. So that's about all I got right now.
All right, Dan, you got anything else?
Well, Terry and I both attended the district health meeting last Monday, a week ago Monday. A couple things that came out of there was kind of neat. It's March 1st. They started another group for 60 and older for vaccinations in the food processing business and new agriculture business. So it was opening up a bunch more people, but it was for 60 older in those two categories if you line up with those. There's a new grant coming out to DHD number 2, which I'm sure Scott will find out about, but it will cover costs for EMS and police if they are hired for safety at the clinics. So DHD is getting a lot of money from a lot of different places for COVID expenses. This is another new grant that they were going to get, I think, March 1st. But that's what it's going to cover. I've already let Scott at EMS know about it. And I haven't talked to Scott, our sheriff, yet, but that was coming up. And one little bit of advice, as of last Monday, Alcona County was 15th out of the 83 counties for the amount of vaccines given. So
That's great.
So Alcona is doing a very good job. It just they would do a lot better if they could get the vaccines. But yeah, at that point in time, they were 15th out of the 83 counties. Had a NEMCOG Zoom meeting. I sat in on the township Zoom meeting yesterday morning, and I have NEMSCA Zoom meeting on Friday. About it.
All right, how about you, Bill?
I missed ACCOA. I was at a doctor's appointment, but and Thunder Bay Transit was canceled. It's rescheduled for tomorrow.
Carolyn?
A 911 meeting, routine, pretty much building security meeting. I've shared some of that with all of you. Sunrise Center meeting, and I think I left the annual on your desks or something, the list of annual how many patients we have from different counties. And CDBG money is, the final was sent in. We don't have it back yet, the money, but I wouldn't be surprised if we have it by the end of this week. Maybe, or next week. And we spent all but $5,000. So that's all I have.
Okay. I'm happy to say that Bill and Carolyn have volunteered to take up the committee for grant tracking. We'll probably vote on that, but we'll wait till next time.
Do we have to vote on it?
Well, we have to vote to approve the whole committee thing. I don't know if we have to. Maybe we don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. We
I
won't.
don't think so.
And Terry has expressed interest in being on the committee for the what's it called? The Chart of Accounts Committee. Carol, did you say you want to be part of that, or I don't remember?
If you want.
Well,
Yeah, two.
so then Terry and Carolyn are going to be on the track that Chart of Accounts changeover. We'll all be a part of it, but for the main reporting portion, we can rely on them to get back to us. And
I have a question on that, primarily directed for the treasurer. It would seem, if I'm understanding all this correctly, it is thought that if you have the right number in BSNA, that there will be a mechanical capabilities to have it roll over to what the new number is.
Yeah, they have a conversion program.
Right. Right. But if you don't have the telephone in the right number, and you've got it in a number that's actually electricity, it'll roll over, but it'll still be wrong.
No, that's why you're checking.
Right. So am I not correct that all the ones we can make right now will make it better at the time of conversion? Okay. Just want to make sure that was the right track. Okay. That's what we'll look for then.
I don't doubt it.
Biggest offender is contingency line item 941. I think.
That'll do it for committee reports. We're going to go into closed session after the last public comment. Give everybody so you don't have to wait around for us. So 5-minute public comment. Whoever wishes to chime in. Also, if your audio is having trouble, you can use the chat feature.
Adam, can you hear me?
Yep, Craig.
Hey, I didn't know you had said something about committee reports. Do you want me then, or how do you want to?
You can do it right now.
Good deal. Hey, so road commission, road as well, you guys probably, none of you on that board have to worry about it, but this week road restrictions went on the road, so that can become a headache for us farmers or loggers or anybody else. So, but it is the time of the year. We don't want the roads busted up, so it's a good thing. At the same time, the wash barn that was started last year is pretty much completed. They got a couple of punch list items that they got to finish up on. And a point of information, has been asked for several years since that millage went into effect. There's a little bit of money left from that original fire millage that went out there, 2014, when the original building burnt down. So they're just about to use the balance of it up. I think they probably will, with what they got left to finish up around the buildings and stuff like that. So I know there's been some, in the past, there's been some public that have asked about it. So that's where that is. They are still waiting for you guys, either personnel or Adam or whoever, to get in touch with them on the issue with Jesse. Nothing to start any negotiations, just kind of, I'd say, start getting the ball rolling as to how you're going to handle his pay. Other than that, I can't think of anything else other than I would add on the EMS discussion you guys had earlier. The other item on that was that, there was public outcry for sure. I think it was three free rides, if I remember right, and then we were going to charge. But there is no code for ambulance to come out, no insurance code. So it came down to you're going to bill my grandma $75 to come out and help her out of her chair. Now that means we got to go try to try to collect that somehow becomes pretty sticky. So just another thing to think about. I think when it all got added up, if I remember right, if we put 15 or 75 bucks on a trip, it was about 1,500 bucks a year is what it ended up being. And the cost versus the value didn't seem very well received as far as the public. So just for your information.
Okay.
Anything else? Any questions?
Do you want to address Craig?
Yeah.
Please. Craig, early on last fall, I'm going to say, if I recall correctly, and I may not, but if I recall correctly, they talked about the project north of town on 23 commencing late March and ending before 4th of July. The most recent that I have read on it, and it was in the newspaper, it was not an official statement by the road commission or anything, but they're now talking about sometime in April with an August finish.
Yeah, so the contract reads, the start date is April 4th is when they'll begin. They would even begin earlier if the weather cooperates. That's the beginning. They have to have the road open, paved, and ready for travel on July 4th. The last coat, so they're going to put a top coat on that after that July 4th. That'll be probably in August. But the contract actually reads it must be opened on July 4th.
Okay, that's still good. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, the final would be, I think it'll be buttoned up and everything done in August, whatever date that
Sure.
is.
And I don't have a problem with that clean, but it just was like, wait a minute, but you've clarified it for me, so thank you.
Yeah, that should be done. And EDC's been working with, we met with the DOT there last fall and got them to lighten up on their signage requirements. So we'll have signs, met with a couple of people, the state park people and some others about getting some signage up for everybody because that road will be open for businesses. And we want to encourage anybody who's coming up to be able to get up there and go to any of those businesses.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I just don't want all that traffic going by my house is all. I wish it wasn't.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. All right.
It's gonna be fun.
All right. You got anything else?
Nope.
All right. We're gonna call that the end of committee reports then.
All right.
Craig sits on the committee. And now we'll go into public comment 5-minute limit. Give everybody a few seconds here to see if they want to say anything. Text in the chat if your audio is not working.
Can we recess before we go?
Yeah. Oh, hello?
It's Patty. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, we got you now, Patty.
Got the yellow square. Okay.
All right, you're in.
Mostly just wanted to comment on the really committed, beautifully professional people that have been working on the vaccination clinics. I've attended the one at the high school, the people from the health department, the professionals who are working those clinics, and the huge number of volunteers. It really impresses me that there are a lot of people in this county who care about being safe and making sure that the whole community is safe. So I'm thrilled that we've had such good participation. I heard from Corey at the health department that they've had over 11,000 people pre-register for vaccines in the 4-county area that the DHD2 represents. But I also wanted to mention that Meijer and Rite Aid are currently taking appointment calls. You also pre-register on their websites, but be sure if particularly, I think for the senior citizens who don't have access to a computer, that's really been my concern in this county. There are so many people who are seniors and don't have access to the computer because of internet availability. Anyway, if you know anybody, any organizations that might be participating, and just call your friends and neighbors. But if we could get something going, I tell you what, it really irks me when I hear that West Virginia is doing such a great job. And And somehow we need to get on the map. We've got a lot of older people who could use some help, even just navigating the online pre-registration stuff. Sometimes it takes tech support to figure out how to get through their clinics. Tech support just walked into the room. Oh my goodness. In any case, please spread the word that there are multiple ways to get registered, and hopefully we can get everybody that is eligible in all of the different categories vaccinated, so that by this summer we can enjoy life around our beautiful community again. And I was thrilled to hear that they were going to be doing some of the homebound vaccinations. That to me is a big issue, particularly in the winter time when we don't really want senior citizens who have not been out driving for a long time to get on the road to go to a clinic that might be an hour or so away. I also wanted to comment on the transport by EMS issue. As a user of the EMS services quite a few times over the last couple of years, I would just like to say, for all of the people who may complain about having to pay, there are some of us who are just so grateful we're happy to pay when EMS has to come to the household. I do suspect that in this COVID age, that there probably are people who, once they find out that their EKG is okay, they decide they don't really want to be exposed to COVID, so they just soon stay home. But they have been provided a service, even if it's just to help them get out of a chair. They've been provided a service, and I think billing is really appropriate for those who can't pay. Then you can discuss other options, but you go to the doctor to get an opinion. If the EMS people give you the opinion that you should be going to the hospital, to the emergency department, that's professional opinion, backed up usually by doing vital signs and the other things that the EMS people are qualified to do right there in your home. And that should be worth something to people. So as one of the residents of Alcona County, I'm just going to say I was happy to pay anything when they came to help with my husband. So thank you very much.
Thank
you.
I
think, I was going to ask, do we know if, I know Scott is not there anymore, but is there a medical reserve corps in this county or Northeastern Michigan? Something, I participated in Reserve Corps in Ohio and wondered about.
Not that I know.
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't think so.
Not.
Talking with Corey at the health department, I know, getting enough professionals to administer the shots in the arm. A lot of the volunteers that are, organizing various lines of people coming in and manning the people coming into the parking lots and all of that sort of thing. You can volunteer to help out in the clinics without having any of a professional license or anything, but people with professional licenses might be willing to participate in something that they called Medical Reserve Corps in Ohio. And that was just, if you had an emergency that was going to require medical attention, you had in that same group, like the rave communication, I still get calls from Ohio asking if I want to come down when they have tornadoes or whatever. But if we had something like that, if there were opportunities like helping out doing vaccines or that sort of thing, there would be a ready list of people to call.
We'll make emergency management aware. Thanks for the input.
Okay. Yep. And now I think I'm done.
Okay. Thank you very much. Anybody else for public comment? Okay, hearing none. We're going to have a 5-minute recess and come back for closed session.
Okay.
Can I have your signature?
Got it? Can't see.
Well, oh, yeah, that meeting. Okay, that's canceled.
Oh, I should mute myself again, so. Uh-huh.
times. All right, back in session. Let's have a roll call.
Brumman,
Here,
Brady,
Here.
Small,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Gothier.
Yes.
Getting a motion to go into closed session.
so moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Roll call.
Brady,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Gothier,
Yes.
Brumman.
Yes.
Motion carries. Yes.
Yes.
All right, we're back. Any commissioner additional comments and concerns? For the public at large?
Oh,
There's one.
yeah. I've heard so many people have gotten their shots, most of them through the health department, although a few through Alcona Health Center and a few from other doctors around. But, I can't help but feel that a little bit of a warm fuzzy to the health department and letting them, just to Denise, that says, Alcona County would just like to let you know we appreciate all the efforts that are being put forth. And we know these are difficult times, but we also know that you're doing an outstanding job of serving the citizens of our county. I just think that would be.
And that's exactly what Dan and I said to her at the meeting.
But that should go to her and to the board.
To everybody, all the employees.
The health department board.
I mean, this.
Come on, at times like this, warm fuzzies are really nice.
I mean, the amount of phone calls they got in the first 2 or 3 weeks were astronomical, and upset people,
and we're dealing with that at 211. We are so overloaded.
Oh yeah, I mean they've done a great job, and for what people don't understand that they order 1,000 vaccines and get 300 and 400. Yeah. I mean, they don't understand what we went through.
The numbers coming in there was no way they could.
No, they've done a great job.
Required.
And this is not on the record, but we got a phone call yesterday from Corey and said, we're trying to open up to the county building. We need names, date of births, home phone numbers, cell phone numbers, and email addresses. They said, if you can get that to us, we've got a clinic Thursday in Hale that have to go to Hale, but, and we got it.
For everybody here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Here.
Oh.
And we got it. We got, with Jennifer's help, we got all the ones from the court because he was going to do the court first. That's okay. I'm not going down that path to argue that one. And all by the end of the day, all the court people had their appointment already for Thursday. And this morning, Dave got his for Hale tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And we got Bill and I went to individual departments. Do you want your shot? Yeah. Yes or no? What's your date of birth? And we got that all over to Corey within an hour, hour and a half, maybe.
Yeah. Nice.
And
you guys deserve a fuzzy.
No. But I'm saying they're using that.
I wasn't trying to be that funny, really.
No, they're using that information for the good of our people.
Absolutely.
And I think that's super great.
Yeah.
We included the library, and I feel really, really badly. And this is bothering me because I didn't even think to call the road commission. Mm-hmm. I should have. I didn't.
Yeah. Okie.
So anyway. But I will be happy to write that letter and ready for your signature.
Sure.
If you would like. And
I can do that.
To them before their board meeting.
I don't think you need a motion on that.
Nope.
Well, but I would not do anything like that unless.
I'd like to make a motion we adjourn.
Second.
All right. Thanks for showing up, everybody. See you next time.
Thanks for showing up.